Camino, what just opened, said the national team is crushed in Gabon. What? He banged the door and was crying. Woke up. What is it?
The spirit of Zambian people and the soccer fans, their spirit is very high.
This country is not the most difficult to get the team spirit because their focus is on the same way.
We are one Zambia, one nation.
Those 18 gallant Zambian players, 1 journalist, 5 officials and 5 crew members from Zambia Air Force, consumed in the red and yellow fireball explosion, their bodies scattered in pieces when the Zambia Air Force Buffalo plane crashed into the sea 2 kilometers off of the coast of Gabon on their way to Senegal for the Group B Africa Zone World Cup qualifying match in Dakar after stopover in Libreville. I was at home in the morning. 6, my son, Pongaliwewe, who is an international journalist, came in the bedroom, literally, and opened the bedroom. His father's and mother's bedroom. No Camino, what just opened, said the national team is crushed in Gabon. What? He banged the door and was crying. Woke up. What is it? He says, the BBC have announced that the Zambian national team is crushed. I was supposed to be on that plane.
In those days, we didn't have the amount of flights, commercial flights that we have today. So when Zambia was playing at home, I would fly right here, or from Holland straight here. In this period, because of the connecting flights, then I was going to fly directly from Amsterdam, Paris into Dakar, to Senegal. So, we were going to meet on the way. That was the standard, that what used to happen in the past. So that's what saved me.
And then news started coming in. Of course, they got their correspondent in Libreville, Gabon, and I gave the feeling at home and everything, and I was crying on the radio. Then I appeared on television in Zambia. I could even say, what a glorious way to go, because you have gone as a soldier, as a Zambian soldier. Wisdom chance go. Bye-bye, we meet. We meet.
Whenever soccer is on the high in Zambia, everybody is happy. You don't care where he comes from, what race, what tribe.
Soccer in Zambia is part of our culture and our tradition.
We love football here in Zambia very much.
When we are watching the soccer match, we are united as Zambians. We have that same spirit.
It brings all the 73 tribes we have in the country together.
It has taken a lot of young youths in the country. They enjoy it very much.
We are one. So in terms of spirit, we are all united. That's why we are making it.
Knowing Zambia for the first time I've won the African Cup of Nations, it was something special.
When the Zambian player, footballer, wears that green jersey with the eagle here, the symbol of our national identity, immediately has been given a shirt with the eagle here. He stops to be a human being. He is told, conquer or die for Mother Zambia. That's what we have instilled into them. When that football player wears that jersey, and it is an eagle here, I'm emphasizing that, it's full scale.
This warrior-like obsession finally paid off with a new generation of players 19 years after ironically, Zambia's team won the Africa Cup of Nations in Gabon, just a few miles from where their older brothers perished.
By fate of happenings of history, where did Zambia win the Africa Cup finals? In 2012, on the shores where we lost our boys, exactly in Gabon. That's where glory, glory, hallelujah for Zambia took place. Was it a coincidence? Was it the spirits of those boys?
As a country, probably people even must have given up hope that we'll ever win the Africa Cup because of the, so many good generations of players who were not able to put their hands on the cup. And we have this team now, well led with Hevre now, with the Chris Katongos and the boys, so they've done us proud.
Kalililo Kakanje is goalkeeper for the national team. Born in Lusaka 27 years ago, he's now a national hero, thanks in part to the team's triumph in Gabon.
There were a lot of good teams, a lot of better teams than we were. But I think to me it's the team spirit, the unity in the team that helped us to go all the way. Everybody knew it was going to be like a way to pay back to the guys that passed on in Gabon. I actually told myself one time that I'm going to replace effort because I don't think there's anybody that would be better than him at that time. Yeah, so it did inspire me. And I think a lot of other people out there who love soccer. I think to me I would describe football as everything to me because I've not known how to do any other thing apart from playing soccer. It's shown me everything in life that I know. It's made me a known person around the country. It's brought me before great people. It's like a mother and a father to me. It's brought in obviously an income for me, so I can afford to lead a normal life, a relaxed life because of soccer. So it really has been my backbone in my life.
Hervé Renard used to play for France. After he retired, he became coach for the national team. He shared the exhilaration that the whole of Zambia felt when their team won the cup.
You can imagine the day after we won this Africa Cup of Nations. It was crazy in the country. It's still crazy. And the other very fantastic moment was our first game in this stadium. It was against Ghana 2 months ago. It was amazing. The atmosphere was fantastic. You know, you get success when you have a very good skilled player, and when there is a fantastic team spirit. And in this country, it's not the most difficult to get the team spirit because their focus is on the same way. You know, a lot of teams in Africa, they have a lot of very, very good players. Some of the best players are playing in Europe, but they don't have a good team because they don't want to play together. For us, there is no problem for that. That means we can fail, but the spirit is always the same. It's fantastic. It's coming from the very low age. You saw some very young players to start. And if you are saying to your player when they are 8 years old, the team spirit is very, very important. I think you alert them and they are growing up with this idea in their mind. They pray together. Even the Chipolopolo, they pray every night together. We are not part of the prayer, but they are together. They build them team spirit.
Renard is a national hero. Zambia's hopes rest on him to see the country through to the World Cup in 2014.
We can say for the young player, you have time to be enjoyed, you have time to have a girlfriend, like you said, outside. But there is at the international level some very important appointment meeting. That means your focus has to be at 100% for the national team and for your nation.
Without football, Zambia to outsiders is a little-known country in southern Africa. With just 11 million people, Zambia covers 750,000 square kilometers. The country is landlocked, surrounded by 8 neighbors, and was until recently very poor. In most African countries, the sporting hub is the capital city, but not Zambia. The country's economy is driven by the copper mines 4 hours to the north, and this is where young men go for work and to hone their footballing skills. It's the copper mines that sponsor youngsters at the start of their careers.
The mines in the past used to have welfare places, halls, where the people would go there and play table tennis, play volleyball. And so they became significant in developing football. And so most of the players, before they were able to come and play in Changa Rangers, is because they had played the local league and then they were prominent in their own. So I think the development was much more sustainable, and it was much more organized on the Coast of Gabon because of that.
Today, Zambian football has become big business, and the government has invested in massive stadia across the country. 4 new ones are on the drawing board, but it's no accident that the first to be completed is here in the Copper Belt. In any open field at any time, young Zambians are preparing themselves for competitive soccer. These youngsters are frequently coached by their own peers, some no more than 11 years old.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
The village schoolteacher walks through literally in the middle of a game. Meanwhile, the boys don't even notice their mother, who walks by. It's this obsession that has rebuilt Zambia's footballing prowess since that dark day in 1993. Back in Lusaka, the newly completed sporting academy is further testament to the government's obsession with football as a vehicle for national prestige.
Kick it now, kick it.
Good. Drop the ball.
The academy starts them young.
Good.
From the first day they can walk, Zambian children come here and start kicking a ball. And while in the rest of the world it might be considered a man's sport, the girls are just as keen to take part. For school-aged children, prowess on the football field is every bit as important as academic accomplishment.
My name is Jeffy Chipolopolo. I go to St. Andrew's School of Lusaka, and the first time when I came to Lusaka Youth Soccer Academy, I was 7 years old. I like playing it because it's one of the ways that I can play it with my friends. We're improving because first we were not that good, but now we're improving.
We have a league here in Lusaka for the under 10, under 12 boys. So every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, they normally meet here to play their games. And at the same time, most of them they are from these neighboring schools. So like today, we made a program. So even our national team coach, we normally passes here to see the program for these boys. From the under 14, there are about 5 boys have been picked, been under 15 national team, which they are yet to travel to go and play Botswana in December.
When I finish school, I want to go back again in the pitch, continue playing because football is my life, and I want to become like Lionel Messi. Yeah, maybe I can do more than Messi that I can do. Yes.
I want to be a star. Yeah, like Kalaba, imitate Kalaba because he's a young player. Even me, I'm young, and I want to be playing football. And I love it, it's a passion. I know school is important, but football is all my life.
But for some, Zambian football still has a long way to go before its best players scale the heights of their dead predecessors.
Of the players that won the Africa Cup finals in 2012, Zambian players, not even one of them will be among the best 11 Zambia has ever produced. I'm telling you. We had Ifodi Chavala, Maite Mufrira Wanderers and Zambia in goal. He was not highly educated, but he used to practice playing football in what we call in the game of soccer off-season. I would give that one to Shet #1 for Zambia. So he died in the plane crash. Dick Sharma, Green Buffaloes. A killer, a soldier, to all intents and purposes. 5, Dixon Makwaza. 6, Richard Stevenson. 7, Johnson Bwalia. 8, Charles Msonda. 9, Godfrey Chitaro. 10, Samuel Zumunjovu. 11, Kalusha Bwali.
So speaks Dennis Liwewe, outspoken commentator and football pundit for the last 50 years.
Dennis Liwewe is a legend of our time. When Dennis Liwewe came on the radio, he was commenting from Morocco, he was commenting from Egypt. First of all, he'll give you the background, so you exactly know, you know, in your young fantasy. When we were young, there was a moment that you started to think that, hey, maybe one day Dennis Liwewe would say my name.
Kalusha Bwalia's fantasy was realized, and he became one of the first Zambian players to play for European clubs. Now retired, he's become responsible for the success of the younger crop of players.
The Kalusha Bwalias of this world are now in football administration. They saw it through as footballers. He saw it through as a coach, and now he's in administration.
Bwalia's early life could be that of any of today's youngsters, a life in which football alone holds the key to fame and fortune.
anything that I can remember back then has to be associated with going to school or playing football. So it was, there's no two way, no other thing that we used to do in those days, because it's longer than 5 years or 6 years, I think. Coming into the national team, I was privileged to come into the team around in 1982. The trials were held in Ndola, and so we went there. We're all looking forward to be part of the team. So you sit on the bench, and then there's two teams playing, and then they give you a run out for 15, 20 minutes, and you have to show everything. So I thought I did myself justice, but they said, hey, you're too thin, man. You can't go too young and too thin. You can't go to the Africa Cup of Nations. Africa Cup of Nations, you have to be strong. Hey, August, September, then we had other trials, and so I was successful. I think the first trip was to Egypt, but I didn't play then. I was just carrying the bags, and I was very disappointed I didn't get a chance to play. So I said to, the coach could see my face. I was upset, I've come all the way, and I said, hey, I could have destroyed these guys, but now I'm sitting on just warming the bench. So the coach then said to me, no, don't worry. I know you're disappointed, but you are the future of Zambian football. You will play more games than everybody who has played today. And I just walked away and I said, okay.
We did a very good job together between 2008 2010. At the end, we reached the quarter-final of Africa Cup. We lost in penalty against Nigeria. We also reached the semi-final of Chan 2009. We finished third. That means it was the first step of the success. I left for a short time, and I was lucky to be called back by the President Kalusha Bwala. And you know the story. In February 2012, we won the Africa Cup. It was the resume of my stay in Zambia. But it's a very good country to be coach. I think I'm lucky to be on the right place on the right time.
And today, if I look at our team, when we played against Ghana, the amount of people who have come to the stadium, 41,000 people in the stadium against Ghana. And then you say, yes, the people, they're wearing their shirts, everybody's wearing a green shirt, and so there must be belief. If you go on the street, for every 5 person that you see somebody in his national color. You'll see Hevre now on the poster somewhere, saying something, and I think that is good. You can believe in the vision of our team. We can believe as a Zambian that we can conquer the world. So we have to sustain that.
We know we are on a good way. That means this is a process of building something. When you are building a house, your house is not finished in 1 week. You have to go step by step, and sometimes it's more difficult. Sometimes it's very fast.
Why you are not going to help him?
I can be very hard. You can see this example. We start a camp with the local players. 3 were late for the report, and I don't have to be nervous in front of them. I just explain, if you don't run to go to the national team, you are not motivated enough. That means I don't need you. We need the player to be proud to see the flag of Zambia in the air. This is the most important.
The future of the country's football is in the hands of the Football Association of Zambia. Over the last 4 years, it's gone from a loss-making institution into a highly profitable business, raking in millions of dollars in merchandise and international gate receipts. How many African parastatals must look at them with envy?
We have good, capable people. We have good brains who have come together, and everybody is, driving in the same direction. There's a lot of good ideas, and there's a lot of experience. And also, the Football Association is always looking for other ideas outside.
We are lucky to have a fantastic stadium now. That means we have we have a bright future in this country.
From tragedy to triumph in 19 years. The story of Zambian football is an African success story. Having won the Africa Cup of Nations, Zambia's national team is looking to scale even greater heights.
From 1993, I always live a day at a time and try and enjoy myself while I'm still here, because life is precious, but you don't know what tomorrow can bring.
I think our collective target is to go to the World Cup 2014, and I'm sure if we are going to the World Cup, a lot of them will go to Europe to play. At the moment, some team in Europe doesn't know them, but if we are on the focus of the World Cup, and it's our next target. And of course, we don't have to miss the Africa Cup in 2013. This is also a very, very important appointment for us.
I'll still support Zambian football. I'm proud of being Zambian, actually.
The spirit of Zambian people and the soccer fans, their spirit is very high.
Chipolopolo, one love.
We are one Zambia, one nation.